Print statement can also allow the special escape characters. Any escape characters will start with backslash. And here there are the few of the escape characters that we have. And each and every escape sequence or characters will have some meaning. For example, \n, which means a new line. \t is a horizontal tab space, and so on. So let's quickly look into \n and \t, and then I'm going to explain you this in detail. So first, let's go to my Jupyter Lab, and here let's talk about the escape characters. So let me use the markdown and mention that this is my escape sequence characters, and there are two escape sequence characters that's going to discuss now, which is \n and \t. \n stands for new line, so let me write it here. It's a new line, and \t is a horizontal tab. Cool. So what exactly I mean here? So let's take the print statement, print hello world. So that's a pretty basic print statement. And here, if I execute this, is what I print. And for example, if I use an escape character \n between hello and world, what happens is that if you execute this, hello is going to print at the first line, and after that the cursor will move to the next line, and then the world is actually printing here. That's what the new line means. So whenever you want a break in the string, and there we actually use this \n. \n is a new line. Okay, now let me take this example. We have seen the previously something like this. Let me copy this and paste it here, and we already saw about the separation. And after that you put comma and use the shortcut key Shift+Tab, which will actually open the docstring. And here after separation there is one more argument is there. What you see is an end, nothing but \n. What exactly this means? For example, if you see, let me print the ABCD, and after that let me print hello world. Now if I execute this, what happens is that this print statement is got executed, and it got in the first line, and next this print statement is getting executed and this got in next line. The reason why this is executing in the next line is because of this end. And here if you see that the end is \n, so which means that once the print statement is executed, I'm asking to move to the next line, which means that the cursor should move to the next line. That's why it got to the next line and getting printed here. Suppose if you don't want to move to the next line and you want to print every print statement in the same line, then what you can do is that you can mention end is equal to probably some space. Now if you execute this, and here you can see that ABCD and print hello world is being executed in the same line. But now however, here if you print this again, print hi, how are you? Now if I execute this, and obviously what happens is that this is getting executed in one line, but however the next print statement is executed in the new line. Can you think about the reason of this? Yes, the reason is here we also need to mention the end is some kind of a character, whatever you want. So you can put the empty space or you can put some space. And now what happens if you execute all three, and all three is printed in a single line. Cool, right? So this is how we can use the new line character, which is escape sequence \n, and which is actually move our cursor to the next line. In summary, we are using the new line escape character in the print statement argument end. And similar to that, we are also having the horizontal tab. So horizontal tab, the name itself, it says that it is a tab space. Okay, so horizontal tab is tab space. So what I mean to say is, if we use print hello, and let's use \t and word. Now, okay, now if I execute this, what happens is hello, and it's the \t won't get printed. This \t stands for tab space. So there will be one tab space, and this tab space is getting printed, and the next word or next string will get after the one tab space. We can use whatever. You can use \t if you want 2 tab space, \t 3 tab space, and so on. Now execute this. There are 3 tab space between hello and word. This is also, you can put even in the separation, even in the end, whatever, you can actually put all the information even here also. For example, if you want print, so let me take the same code. Now here in the end, what happens, instead of one tab space, instead of one space, let me use one tab space, and now what happens is it's get executed. There will be one tab space between one print statement to other print statement. And even you can also use this \t even in the separation. For example, here I'm having the 4 expressions are there. By default it is one space. I can use \t or \n, which is a new line. What happens, this is a new lines A, B, C, D, and now after that it's got ended, and with immediately after end I'm just asking the \t, which is one tab space, and here I have the one tab space. In this way I can actually print expressions that I want. Cool. Now let's look into few escape sequence characters. Let's begin with \\. What exactly it means? So generally, as I said, the \/ will be the escape sequence, so it will actually skip it. And suppose you want to print the \/ here again, and in that case what we can say is that \/ I'm just asking this to ignore it. For example, I want to print the \n. Okay, so for example here, let's go back to my Jupyter Lab, and here if I print \n, I want to print the \n, but however I can't able to print this. But however, in order to print the \n, what I can do is I can actually use the \ before the \n. Now what happens is that it will tell the Python, hey, just ignore this \, and this is the escape. That's what it means. It will escape the sequence. Now if you print this, and here you go, now we can actually print the \n. This has generally been useful whenever you are having some information where you want to print the \. This generally happens whenever you're trying to display the path. For example, here I want to print it. Print some path. Let's say this is the C / some notebook. Okay, notebook, and in the notebook I want to go to another folder, something like tables. Okay, now here what happens is this, if I execute this, and this will not execute, because what happens is \n is an escape character. Now immediately after this, it's moved to the new line. It actually don't print the \n. It sees this, and okay, the cursor is moving to the new line, and after that here the \t, which is a tables, which is I'm referring to, but print statement will refer it's a \t and make it as a tab. But however, in order to execute this, what we can do is we can use the \. So \/ will actually escape it. Now if you print this, and here you go, this is what the path that we can actually print. So this is the one of the useful of the \. So let me write it in a comment, saying that this is \/ is a escape character. All right, now let's also quickly move to the other example, and here we have another one is \quote. What I mean by this, let's give an example so that it will be a little bit easy for you. So let me insert few more cells. I'm using the shortcut key B. Okay, it's a backslash some this single quote or backslash double quote, both are same. What I mean here, so if you notice that actually I'm using in the print statement, that's whenever I'm defining the string, I'm using either a single quote or a double quote, which is actually possible. Python actually supports both double quotes as well as single quotes. For example, this is in double quote and print this is in single quote. Python actually supports both. Both actually print the same kind of information, and which is actually very, very useful. Now let me take one example here. Print, it is a beautiful day but it's raining today. Okay, what happens here? Here, if you notice that actually I use some apostrophes here, but Python will not understand this. Python will treat as this is some kind of ending statement, and it'll throw an error. If I execute this, it throw an error saying that unterminated string literal, because it's looking for a string. It's looking for it's a closing. But in order to escape this, what we can do is that there are two ways it's possible. The one way is I can use the backslash. Now what we can do is that if you execute this, and here you go, that's what you can see. What it's actually escaping the single quote. That's a very good thing. Another way is that you can actually take the double quote. You can start with double quote, and then you can actually print this one. It's a start with the double quote, and if you want the single quotes here, you can actually print it here. That's also another way of escaping it. But however, it is always recommendable to use the escape character whenever you're trying to escape some quotes. And similar to that, we can actually use the escape character for double quotes. Let's say if you use print, he said hi. So hi is something I want to highlight. So something like hi. But again, it's showing an error. All we need to do is that we can actually use the escape characters. And now what we can say is that we can actually print this one. He said hi. And another way of doing it is start with single quotes, and inside that use the double quote. But this is not a recommendable method. I'm just writing it here. This is not recommended. Okay, so now let's execute this. So that's how we can use the escape characters, and whenever we are trying to escape single quotes or double quotes. And we have another escape sequence is carriage return. And the escape sequence that is generally used is \r. What exactly it means? Let's go to my Jupyter Notebook. In the Jupyter Notebook, so let me do one thing. Let me write it down. So this will be my \r is carriage return. Okay. All right. So what exactly it means? Let me take print. Let me use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and \n and write something hello world. Oh, this is R. Execute it. What exactly happens is whenever you're using the \r, whatever the information that is there prior to this, it will skip it. In simple, it will overwrite it and display only the information which is after \r. That's what the carriage return means. And finally, we are also having the one more escape character, which is \b, which means backspace. So yeah, so this means \b backspace, right? Okay, so the backspace means it's actually remove one character. For example, print I want hello \b world. What happens is this backspace was whatever the keyboard backspace that you're having, right? It will act exactly same like this. So it will actually remove one character. So if I execute this, this is what it happens. Hello, I've been basically HELL, and O is actually removed by the \b, and then it prints the word. That's what the \b means. Cool, right? So this is the simple details about the escape characters.